Prospector, that's going to have to die. Yeah, Authority with backup of Wrath is fantastic. Really? We take them. Thank you. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And another Prospector? Icing on the cake! And the Prison of Sodium City is going to be called Elixir Us from Evil. Fantastic deck, highly recommend it. Super, super fun, still got some tweaks to go, but beware, it is going to be a power fucking house. Most likely what I will end up ranking to Mythic with, just keep that in mind when watching this video. Again, it is a mono white prison deck, maybe I guess kind of more of a death and taxes deck is what people were saying, less of a prison. I don't really understand the difference when it comes to historic because there's not a whole lot of prison aspects that you can do, but here is how we're really going to control people and kind of lock them out of what they want to do going forward in the game. So of course we need Authority of the Consuls to make it to where all their creatures come into the battlefield tapped. We want that to happen because we don't want to get destroyed by Fasty Boys. However, you're still going to get destroyed by flash decks because they flashed it in at the end of your turn, which they'll come into play tapped, you'll gain a life, but then their turn happens, they untap it, and they still swing in that same turn. It's kind of irrelevant, it kind of fucking sucks, but it's just something you have to deal with. The flash decks and tempo decks are always going to be something that my decks will have a problem with. It's just not something that is avoidable. One of the other biggest things that we're using, and people always call me out on this, but I still think it's the biggest prison deck card that we have in the current MTG arena, and that is Dovin, Hand of Control. Amazing Planeswalker. It's just a 3-mana Planeswalker. 5 loyalty, artifact, instant, and sorcery spells your opponent's cast cost 1 more to cast. This alone, it's pretty innocuous, but setting opponents back 1 entire turn is very good. If you're going up against a burn deck, this means that they probably have limited mana, and they're trying to do 2 or 3 burn spells in 1 turn, and they can't really do that because all their burn spells are 2 mana or 1 mana. So you're increasing every single burn spell to 2 mana, 3 mana, 4 mana, and they just don't have the lands for that. So it shuts that down so hard. The other thing it helps with is control decks. So control decks, they're always used to just leaving up 3 mana or leaving up 2 mana for like a negate or an absorb, whatever it may be, some type of counterspell. But now they're forced to leave up in 1 additional mana. Now this is typically really just good earlier on in the game, and that's why we're only running 3, but it's still a very good card. The -1 that Dovin has is until your next turn, prevent all damage that would be dealt to and by permanent and opponent controls. Again, this is amazing against aggro decks. This is good against top end, mid-range, and like giant creatures. You can just shut it down completely, make sure they don't do any damage to you. It's very, very good. With Kaldheim, it actually gave us a new card, Reidane, God of the Worthy. Now this is a fantastic card, one of my favorite in the set. It's a 2/3 flying vigilance. Snow lands your opponent's control enter the battlefield tapped. Now this helps against people who are just using snow lands for aesthetics sake. It helps with people who are using like the tempo decks, so the man lands, things of that nature. Just kind of slows them down a little bit, turns their basic lands into guild gates essentially. So that part's very, very good. But sometimes it can be relatively useless because not everybody runs snow lands. However, the next part, non-creature spells your opponent's cast with a converted mana cost 4 or greater cost 2 colorless more to cast. So it's kind of like a mini God-Pharaoh statue, but for early game. So this is very good to help you against board wipes, which you don't really need, but it's also good against things if they're doing planeswalkers, if they're doing enchantments, if they're doing artifacts, things of that nature. It really slows people down quite a lot. Since the card is legendary, you would think that we're only going to run 3 of them. However, this is an MDFC, so it has another side of the card, which is the Protector's Shield. It's a fantastic artifact. It's a 4-mana artifact that I use a lot. If a source an opponent controls would deal damage to you or a permanent you control, prevent 1 of that damage. So this shuts down a lot of decks, shuts down a lot of things that go wide, that are only poking you for 1 damage. You can block the bigger things and take 20 little things without taking any damage, which is great. It's really good against Cavalcade decks because they're not doing any damage to you, just to name a few. Now the second part, whenever you or another permanent you control becomes target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, counter that spell or ability unless that player pays 1 colorless. This is fantastic because unlike the pay 2 more, which is what you're basically conditioning them to do, this is countering it unless they pay 1 more. So instead of increasing the converted mana cost, so you'll see like the numbers at the top of their card go up, instead of increasing that number, it's just the normal number. So they'll shoot you with a shock, you know, they have 1 mana left, and now all of a sudden they have to pay 1 additional or it gets countered. And so they're just countering their own spells. This is fantastic. It actually shows up many, many times, and you'll probably see it in this video. It's amazing how many people don't read all of the text. It's like questing beast in an artifact. For the ultimate creature lockout, we're going to cast Overwhelming Splendor. It's an 8 mana curse, so we're going to have to actually attach it to the opponent so they can't have hexproof when this happens. But we're going to enchant the player. Creatures enchanted player control lose all abilities and have the base power and toughness of 1/1. Enchanted player can't activate abilities that aren't mana abilities or loyalty abilities. So this includes artifacts, enchantments, creatures, lands, anything. So it's very, very powerful. However, the key point is the base power and toughness of 1/1. So if they don't have +1/+1 counters, all their creatures are 1/1s and they have no abilities. And again, if you remember, the Protector's Shield, we're going to prevent 1 damage from each source. This means they're all 1/1s, and we're going to prevent 1 damage from each of them. That means they do 0 damage to us. The only time they're going to be able to do damage to us is if they hit us with the Bone Crusher Giant, the actual spell from it, or if they attack us with a Questing Beast. However, again, if we have Overwhelming Splendor out, it doesn't matter. So they would literally only have to hit us with the shock part of the Questing Beast in order for us to take actual damage. Then of course we have the usual prison stuff with God-Pharaoh statue making all their spells cost 2 colorless more. We have Immortal Sun to lock out all the planeswalkers, and that's pretty much it. Everything else is just kind of fit whatever you want in there. We just actually added Approach of the Second Sun, which is a fantastic card. So the second time you cast Approach of the Second Sun, you just win the game. As long as the card resolves the second time, you just win the game. The first time you cast it, it can get countered, whatever, it doesn't matter as long as you cast it and the game registers the trigger. So if you get Narset's Reversaled and it gets put back in your hand, obviously that doesn't count, but you know what I mean. So if you cast it and it gets countered, it's kind of whatever, right? So, but initially, if the card is cast from your hand and it's not the second time you've cast it, you gain 7 life, and you put that card 7th from the top of your library. This is just fantastic because number 1, you gain 7 life, and in 7 more turns or 7 more draws, you can cast it again and just win the game. With the addition of Approach of the Second Sun as the main win condition, this deck just skyrocketed into consistency. Fantastic deck. This is what I use to get into Mythic, and 100% would recommend you build it. This will set you back 31 rares and 6 mythics, but again, 100% worth it, recommended. Play it, use the deck, let me know your results in the description below. And as for yesterday's comment question of the day, I asked you, now that Uro's banned, do you think that that opens up an avenue for more jank decks, or do you think it's just going to make aggro more prevalent, or do you think it's just going to enable more OP decks to come to the forefront? Here are your answers. If you want your comment featured in these videos, make sure that you answer the comment question of the day every single day, 7 days a week in the comment section below. And I did realize that 42.1% of all of you right now who are watching are not subscribed to the channel. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification. We come out videos 7 days a week, and we have been every single day for over 1 year now. So you know it's consistent. It's worth it, I promise. If you want to support the channel even further, you can hit that join button to see all of the perks that you get. Stay salty and enjoy the games. Omnath, officially banned. Uro skipped suspended and went straight banned. Yeah, that was an adorable little questing kitty. It's like, "Rawr! I'm a questing beast, rawr!" Trying to run and trample and shit. It's like one of those little tiny kittens trying to play with a tiger or some shit. It's like trying to be all fierce and doing the side hoppy thing before it's like, "Rawr!" Then the tiger's like, "All right, sure. Let me just block you with my 1/5 wall." Dre 420. 420 blaze it, dude! Predictions are up. I know opponent's mulling a bunch, I don't like it. $0.25 deck isn't working as well. Post Aeroban makes me sad. It's interesting.
Gengia has been a citizen for 2 months.
Gengia! Welcome to Sodium City. Prime Gaming. 2 months. That's like, fucking, I don't know, whatever that is of a year. Official citizen. Thank you, I appreciate it. It feels like a Tibalt list, so I'm gonna cast it. I'm gonna cast it as that, because that means they have to pay extra mana for their Tibalt. Or for the spell they get from Tibalt. Yeah. It looks Tibalt-y, right? They mold a bunch. Anytime, love the content. Thank you. I appreciate it. Appreciate the kind words. Huzzah! Yeah, all the Scrylands give it away. I really hope you do the Trickery thing. It's super cute. That was almost as cute as that questing beast, wasn't it, Chad? So that was almost as that might have been. That was like a little bit so close. They were so close. Oh, yeah. Non-creature spells your opponents cast with the converted mana cost 4 or greater cost 2 more to cast. That is indeed more than 4 mana. That is indeed 0 mana open. Feels bad. You know what goes great with Victory Tea? The scoop of the day. Which is the horrible Dex Ass scoop, right? It's a broken, busted ass half cup, or if you're not in Merca, 118 milliliter. Wow, scoop. It's fantastic. The clip doesn't really work that well. After about 1 day of use, it just kind of, the spring broke. But it is still usable. The scoop is fully functional. It's compact. Just bring it to your LGS. Boom, clip it on your shirt. Whenever you got to give it to a shitty opponent, you give it this, you know, pop it out, show them how to use it, put it on the desk, and you just sip your Victory Tea while they scoop up their broken deck. I'm buying that as is. Yes, 180 million tears. Exactly how big it is. Hashtag not sponsored. I had a couple Cycle Ants in here. I just ended up taking them out. I took them out because I had no planes anymore. Like what I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 planes right now, and I have 4 Fabled Passages and 4 Birth of Meletis. So that's 8 planes right there that I need. You know? So I don't think cycling lands is a really good thing. And, you know, adding Emeria's Call, Ondu's Intervention, that just kind of cut it all down. I really do use a lot less Castle of Ardenvale. Have you tried Lotus Field and brought back? I mean, I've tried it, not in this deck though. I feel like that might be too many tapped lands. Yeah, I know. I'm thinking I could cut Castle, but if I add in the cycle lands, that might be too many tapped lands. Do you ever use Ondu's Inversion? I haven't used it, but there's been times that I've needed it. That's why I only have one of them. If I needed crazy board wipes like that, I would run things like Hour of Revelation. You know, I would run Ondu Intervention, because Ondu's Intervention is like a bad card. It's a last resort card, is what it is. Yeah, I have no problems taking out castles. It's just putting in 3 more tapped lands seems like it doesn't seem like a great idea. Also, going down to 3 Cosmos Elixir, I think, kind of fucked us a bit. We don't get any value out of ECD. I would rather go up. That shit gets so expensive so quickly, though. Our top end is so fucking heavy right now. Lotus Field and brought back is so unreliable. White Archon. No, I was thinking the Ixalan's Binding. But I just cut a bunch of lands, right? Yeah. I mean, right now I have 22 lands. Can use it to get back their artifacts and Dovin, though. If they... Yeah, if I have mana that turn, correct. Okay. So 26 lands. All right, so you want me to add in a Lotus Field. 3, 4. And then brought back. Now I need to cut 4 cards. That would also allow us to run Approach. So we need to cut 6 cards now. You have introduced a 6-card conundrum. We also have no exile effects. Am I making my point yet, or no? Dropback's not necessarily narrow. Like, if you have a bunch of sagas and you can put them all out on the same turn, it's fine. If you're doing your own, like, giant board wipes, like if I was running Hour of Revelation and I wanted to do something like that, I mean, it could work, but... Or Marius calls. Well, this is our main win condition. This is literally our main win condition. It's just like how we win. So, I mean, we can cut those down a couple. That doesn't... like, doesn't necessarily help the situation that we're in right now. You're not adding any value to this conversation. Really. It's not helping. So I want a couple bindings. Would like to keep lower to the ground if possible. I thought about Approach over Splendor as well. It's just that Splendor is so good. Swapping Amarias for Approach helped historically. For 4 of them, we've used Amaria's Call for actual lands pretty frequently. But I mean, it's not all the time. I guess it's more the option to play it as a land than anything else. I might be able to take out 1 Splendor, like 1 Amaria's Call, and add in Approach. 22. We have 26 lands right now. Okay. We'll give this a try. I hate it when I listen to chat. I fucking hate it. It's so annoying. I know. I know. Ugh. Why you do this to me, chat? Why do you do this to me? I thought we were friends. Thought we were friends. I just went back up too. Snow is good? No, we probably would have been fine. Don't tell anyone. Don't let anyone tell you what to do. Telling you. Telling you, man. Can't do the predictions? That sucks. Yorvo. Alright. Hoping they overextend here. And I'm hoping I don't get punished for this. Hopefully I don't just die, right? That's really what I'm hoping. It's exactly what we wanted. Ooh. It's even better. Even better. No, their questing beasts can't just destroy us. I don't know if I wanted to do that or not. I know, I wanted to wait one more turn. I think I have 2 Immortal Sun here. For the card draw. Making their ship more expensive would help on some level. Okay. Good. Okay. We might be okay now. Maybe. Maybe kind of sort of might be okay.
Civilization has crept too far. Tear it down.
Game? Maybe. Beautiful. Opponent's a good sport? Maybe. I have no idea. Not sure yet. Can't tell.
twice and found wanting.
All right. I was looking for an out that they didn't have, I think. This is still a bit ridiculous on how many times we've been on the draw. Let's see. Been 23 matches. Gonna play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 23 matches. Ooh, did I start predictions? Yeah, predictions are up. Okay. I'm gonna foretell this. Just in case. It's a Tibalt's fuckery. Yeah, that sucks. First game of the day. Hate to see when that happens. Alright, well, this is a pretty good curve. We get that. Next turn we can birth into foretell this Doomskar. Or do we just wipe it? I just wipe here. Yeah, I think we just had a wipe. Yeah. I didn't want to risk losing my Dovin. And have another one.
Is unattainable, so
This time I'm gonna wait. Nah, this time I'm gonna wait. We'll get a little bit more value out of this. Dovin will only go down one more. As long as Dovin wins, we are right. Hopefully they commit a little bit more to the board. It's a great card for them to commit. One more creature, come on. Nope. Okay.
for me to slip up is rare.
Sweet. Get all our shuffle effects out of the way so we can approach. 4, 5, 6, 7. Mm-hmm.
Boxes are made to be thought outside of.
That's rough. Luckily we have life. But
Clearly, shortcomings here
is it
were-
going to be enough? Pump that up to 2, then blow it. Oh shit. Oh, that's bad. Oh, that's bad. I don't know if I could take 2 more attacks.
Holy shit! Oh, fuck!
I cannot. I do not need to. Do not need to.
I protect those who cannot protect themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no abilities. It's noise. Cosmos Elixir, let's go! Rude. Rude. All right, easy win. Approach. It's a good call. Gets us out of those scary moments. It's just faster. It's less prisony and more of a jail. Okay, let's go first. Predictions are up. Let's go first. We can win. Deck improvements have improved. Yeah, Cycle onto the Brash Taunter would have been big damage. Yeah, exactly. With how many goblins they had. And searching, if they searched for the Krenko, since everything gave haste instead of the Muxus, it would have had so much more damage on us. Like, so much damage. So they could have played that Krenko that turn, tapped it, made a ton of tokens, and then the next turn drawn that Gem Palm Incinerator, and just fucking went off. Like, went off. They wouldn't have killed us, but if they waited another turn to Gem Palm, they would have killed us. Because they would have just done a fuck ton of damage to us in one turn. Now it's Counterspell. Or not Counterspell. Doomskar. Rawr! Cool. 4, 5, 6. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, they didn't pull a single chieftain. That's what I was holding my... That's what I was holding my other Ixalan's binding for, was the chieftain. We just, they just never got it. 3, 4, 5, 6. So next turn we can Immortal Sunsies. Super cute.
Studying contrasts. I'm excellent, and you're, well,
Super cute.
not.
Maybe they exchanged Chieftain for Taunter to go the budget route? Damage can't be prevented? You're right.
Bully for you.
Dealt by creatures you control can't be prevented. Wait, what? Wait, what? Yeah, I know it can't be prevented, but it did prevent it. It did prevent it. Right? Did I not read that right? Combat damage that would be dealt by creatures you control can't be prevented. Oh. Didn't attack? Yeah, he did. This questing beast? He did, because the animation went onto my Dovin. So in turn, prevent all damage that would be dealt to and dealt by permanent and opponent controls.
These results are an anomaly not to be repeated.
Daddy Likey. Planeswalker Cleave isn't combat damage. Yeah, but they didn't do combat damage to me. They didn't do damage to me. I was still at 24 HP. Or did I not see that correctly? I was at 28? Okay. Yeah, but I thought he had two 2/2s. Maybe I'm crazy. I mean, I know I'm crazy, but maybe I'm crazier than I thought it was. Yeah, but he attacked me with other creatures. Oh, they attacked... Okay. I am crazy then. Alright, never mind. For some reason, it didn't feel like they hit me with any damage. Yeah, I got their growth chamber bound, so they can't do anything with it. Didn't we get debated the other night? No. Because I knew it wasn't going to happen. We were debating them. I targeted their questing beast with it, and they didn't attack with it because they're like, oh, I guess I can't attack with it. We debated so hard. Yes, the game sounds are cut off in the game because the game just is shittily programmed after a while. It just does that. It's not on your side. It's not the stream. It's just the game itself. Don't worry about it. I just have to restart the stream right after this. It's super cute. All right, have fun, opponent. You are dead.
NANI?
Prank! Exacxies, chat. Exacxies with God-Pharaoh statue. Did you have fun, opponent? I had fun. I had the most fun. And if you want to see me build and play all of these decks live, make sure to follow me over at twitch.tv/StriderStone. I stream 5 days a week, every day except Monday and Thursday. Stream times in the description below. OG Spacely, thank you for the sub, even though we didn't win.
Og Spacely has been a citizen for
At least
1 month.
At least we have lands. We have lands. However, we're on the draw again. Dude. I swear to God. I need to start doing predictions of whether we're going to be on the draw or not. That's really what we need to do. All right, so next turn I can Dovin into a Reidane shield. But man, if we were first. This deck is so good when you're on the play. Get Thought Distortion on 2 hands, Kappa. You shut your dirty whorish mouth, you son of a bitch. Was watching Skybills when she was on draw like 13 times in a row. Yeah. I've played... How many games is it now? 28 games.
It's hard to be a genius, so I find your
And been able to play 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. 10 times. 10 out of 28.
We're studying contrasts. I'm excellent, and you're, well, not.
It's not good. it's definitely not close to 50. However, this still feels a little bit better. The deck that we really lost to was the deck that we are just like naturally going to lose to. I think I'm just cleansing here. The Sultai one that has like a shit ton of control. What's with all the math in this channel? I have a no math emote for a fucking reason, okay? Can everyone just calm the fuck down? Please? Thank you. Enjoy that God-Pharaoh statue. Enjoy it. Enjoy it.
Looking to elevate yourself. Perhaps a pair of stilts?
Perhaps a pair of stilts, yes. Looking to elevate yourself. Dovin's so stupid. We have enough for Approach of the Second Sun. Did we cast Emeria's? I've cast Emeria's so many times today. What are you talking about?
Few things can withstand my careful scrutiny.
That's 2 mana, so we just pump that up to 2, and then blow it up next turn, and then we Gucci. You have ADD? How close are we to Mythic? I don't know. I haven't even been paying attention. We were 1 game away twice. That's all I remember. All right, we're 3 games away. I want to see 5 gifted subs if I get to Mythic right here. I want to see it. I want to see it. If I don't, then I'll, like, I don't know, turn off the stream or something. Infinite sadness. No! Okay, we have 2 rats, which is good. They could... 30 console. Great. It's a great card. Exactly what we want. Exactly what we wanted.
Wow.
Prospector, that's gonna have to die. Yeah, Authority with backup of Wrath is fantastic. Really? We take them. Thank you. Absolutely.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Mm-hmm. And another Prospector? Icing on the cake. Nice. Opponent playing into board wipes, like...
You got your baited. You got your baited.
You just got into Mythic! You just got into Mythic!
Shakers.
Pog. Mythic. 30 stupidly made deckable and historic. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. See, it only took 5+ hours. Hold on. 5 hours and 18 minutes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, 10-4 after the changes isn't bad. That's not bad. Is it too late to redeem surrender current ranked match? Not really. You can do it anytime. I thought about remaking that deck that forces the draws. And we could troll that up in Mythic again. Do you guys remember that deck? I don't know if you guys are there. It was like the first or second time I made Mythic, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago, whenever it was. The deck that I made, it forced a draw. It would do damage based on how many cards I had in my hand, and then I would discard those cards and draw that many cards. So I would draw half of my deck with Peer into the Abyss, discard that half the deck, draw that many cards, and then deal that damage to the opponent. But since I had no more cards in my library, I would overdraw, but then kill them with that much, because obviously I have like 40 cards left, or 30 cards left, however much it was. I had more than 20. So I'd kill them and kill myself at the same time, so it forced a draw. And when you're in Mythic, if you get a draw, both of your percentages go down. I'm like the worst person. But it's hilarious. Babuki Law, welcome to Sodium City. Thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Why did you give that haste? Why didn't you give it +1/+1? Opponent, you're making me upset. You're better than this. I believed in you. I believed. You didn't have to believe in yourself. You had to believe in the Strider who believed in you. Believe in me, who believes in you. As the mayor of Sodium City, I believe in each and every one of you to become a better person. You gonna Embercleave me, bro? Am I about to get Embercleaved? Rude. You want to see that deck now? I might do it tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see. There you go. There you go. Beautiful. You love to see the extra value, don't you? Oops. I should have played this first. You know what? Whatever. I think I'll binding that Embercleave. How about that? Sounds like a good idea, right? Dude, I fucking love Reidane and Raiden's shield. Opponent, what happened to your head? All right, predictions up. Go for top 100. I could legitimately make a push like that. However, I don't feel like my viewers would care enough, and I don't even know if I care enough. Yeah, it would be a lot of effort, and I just don't know if it's something that I am willing to do. They missed a land drop. That's why I'm doing that. And then I can Reidane. Ooh. No, I'm gonna Reidane.
This battle to your record of bad decisions.
Your record of bad decisions. Yes. We have some expensive shit in our hand. Gonna need a land. Land, 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 land. Wouldn't be Strider if he didn't have 4 or 5 plus CMC spells in his hand. Look, I don't have 4 5 plus CMC spells in my hand. I have 3 6 plus CMC spells in my hand, okay? So shut up.
Shut the fuck up!
Bitch. Why Fabled Passage? To thin out the deck. To thin out the deck.
Elevate yourself? Perhaps a pair of stilts.
It has one. It has one. It has one. Just one. And that's like worst case scenario. Super worst case scenario. I've never cast it yet, but there has been a couple times where I wish I had it. Why minus Dovin with shield? Because what if they play a Lord? You know what I'm saying? So we removed the deck, re-added it, changed a few things, mainly adding Emeria's Call as the main win condition. With that, the deck went 23 and 16, which isn't necessarily all that bad, 59%. Now on top of that, we actually went a step further and added Approach of the Second Sun as the additional win condition, which actually kind of morphed into more of the win condition. As you can see, we removed one of the Emeria's Calls to add in one of the Approach of the Second Suns. The other thing we removed was one Overwhelming Splendor. This is because we needed to cut a couple of the top end things in order to add a 7 converted mana cost spell, because that's just way too expensive, right? We also ended up removing the 2 Elspeth Conquerors set that we had and turned them into Ixalan's Bindings. This makes it just 1 mana cheaper, which helped so much more than one would think. Now, the additional 2 mana tax didn't really affect people as much as I thought it was going to, and the lack of us really bringing anything back, it really just didn't make an impact of anything warranting that additional mana cost. So Ixalan's Binding is definitely the way to go in this particular matchup, especially since the majority of our win cons are all really expensive, being the 2 Approach to the Second Suns and the 3 Emeria's Calls. We also noticed that we were kind of running out of card draw and running out of gas pretty soon, so we did go in and add an additional Cosmos Elixir, because this actually helped so much more than you would think. I really do live by this card. I think it's a fantastic card. The more I use it, again, the more I want to use it, the more I want to force it into other decks, because I just think it's that good. Then, since we didn't really need Castle of Ardenvale anymore, we actually ended up adding Secluded Steppes, which can cycle and essentially just allow you to draw a card if you don't need the land. Now with those changes, it overall ended up going 12 and 6, including the one game that we had that we ended up just being completely mana screwed because we were short way too much mana. So we went 12 and 5 once we fixed everything. We made the changes that we needed to make, and it was an amazing deck. I really liked it. This got me into Mythic very quickly. Again, 12 and 5. It was super easy to get there. Win rate 71%. This is probably the most polished and best version of the deck, and this was more in effect after the Uro ban, so you will also keep that in mind. There was quite a bit of aggro running around, so this is very well tuned against that. Yo, what up YouTube? Yeah, we going here, Strider. Come on, you didn't really think that I was that type of person, did you? Thank you everyone so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you were even a little bit entertained by this video, please make sure to let me know down below. And if you have anything that you would like to see next, go ahead and leave that there too. And make sure to check out my live stream 5 days a week, every day except Sunday and Thursday. Stream times down below.